Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this reading will take place on this Thursday, December 19, 2024. Yeah, there it is, right there in the writing. On matters of right or left and their implications for a free society in the coming years. I recently watched a YouTube video of a Chinese middle-aged woman titled, Am I Far Ring? Then followed by Self-Test by Gobi, Gobby, Lisa. That's a popular YouTube name, I'm not sure. Appears to be a British immigrant doing a bit on being on the far right. Very poor English, kind of stammers through. I mean, it's actually very well constructed communication-wise, but it's cut to create a sense of not really being very familiar with the English language, not, like a new immigrant trying to learn the language and that. Yeah. Oh, and does a routine on the far right. I assume that's what, because the title was Far Ring. I'm not sure how that I'm sure it was intentional. I'm not sure how that was to be interpreted. It was like a bastardization of the Chinese language where a W comes out with an R sound. Ring, wing, I don't know, far wing, right wing, I'm not sure. I'm probably reading too much into it, not important. But that was the head-on. Had been, as I'd already watched 2 or 3 of her videos, short, 3 or so minutes, being married to such a woman, a Chinese woman, immigrant but in this case, this presenter was in Great Britain. I believe my wife here is in the United States with me. Well, kind of being involved in a similar situation with my own wife, it was easy to invest the time to watch and see what she had to say. Prior to this video, I was still trying to figure out what she wanted projected. First impressions were of an attractive, middle-aged Chinese woman taking on the persona of a sweet, lovable, new to Western culture, giving off her innocent, clueless air and saying cute things of little significance. In one of her presentations, she relayed the details, I'm sorry, of an encounter with a woman wearing a full headdress, or something to that effect. Now, who might that be? Okay, who verbally chastised her for the shorts she was wearing somewhere in a public setting, then proceeded to stand up in front of her camera, showing her wearing what you would call cut-off blue jean shorts. From what I could see, and would not be called inappropriate, all looked nice. By her recounting the events, this person said a lot of bad things to, I think, Lisa, I think that's what she did. I go by assume that's her name in it. And she was in tears, demonstrating her pain from this lady's verbal insults. Did this all really happen? I don't know, but just the way it was played out, it just sounded like one of those made-up stories to support someone's objection to a different cultural aspect, something in their life that they didn't quite agree with. Felt contrived. Actually, Lisa's overall persona felt a little contrived. It might work perfect in her production's overall objective. Think Paul Rubens' character Pee Wee Herman. I don't want to judge enough of the backstory. The thing that set me about dealing with this moral dilemma. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the thing that set me dealing with this moral dilemma, they will be genius at their inventing and controlling the narrative. The people, who want to control us all. The people on the right, the oligarchs, the ones who are in control. always promoting with a happy smile, telling you one thing, but delivering something quite contrary to the purported promised thing that they promised. Well, we get to see the normalization of Trump speak, where logic is waived and it's who tells the cleverest lies to further their own needs. You can see the skill of discernment has diminished from people's ability to judge and see this going on. The logical thinking brain is declining in numbers. Fewer people than expected are showing resistance to this assault on our intelligence. It seems like you'd see a bigger pushback against this. It's like you look back, you scratch your head. How can people just get sucked in by this stuff so much of this? It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Yeah. These people are the ones who are going to get hurt. They are definitely going to get hurt. Oh, yeah, I'm not kidding. Oh, it's not going to be fun. Yes. Okay. Yeah, they're all up and down. Yeah. Diminished. Here we go. So fewer people than expected are showing resistance to the assault on intelligent communication. If and when civilization falls, it will be the response to something, maybe even well-meaning, interest, benefit. Doing something stupid, eventually the downfall of civilization will because stupid people are in control. I digress. Back to the review of the video. My first rush sentiment was that I saw this shtick as a far-right representation of entertainment and I should just not watch it. Pragmatically, that's what I'm going to do. But it has not quelled the need to expound on observations I have made over my 81 years and how this may affect some of these things, how I interject some of my life's experiences and thoughts into this situation. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? That's a lyric to a song made from back in my hippie days. In fact, it was written, I guess, just doing a little research on it, by Nick Lowe. It was about an old-time hippie giving his perspective on life and what's going on. Well, it's a nice thought. We should all think about it more often. Pardon the diversion. As I was saying, I'm sure that there are no untoward intentions in Lisa's productions and just trying to connect to something out there. My advice is to anybody wanting to see historically money, possessions, and power's effect on mankind. Look back over the falls of great civilizations and see negative impacts these things have had on the survival of societies. Money and the possession it allows you to hold is the biggest driver in our collective psyche. With the help for our struggling neighbors, we offer up our hopes and prayers. This statement is to call out the lack of foot on the ground sincerity for issues smart people on the planet can solve and make better. That is our function, to leave our planet a better place when we leave than when we came here, and the way it was when we found it. At this point, I don't know who or where Lisa is in terms of her personal philosophy on life and living, but I'm sure she comes from a good heart. Just consider that normalization of anti-cultural group agendas is where a suppressive regime begins, because not too many people will object. This is just their first foot down. It will begin with the LGBT community, then maybe it could be the Muslims, or maybe it can be some sect of religion that's existing out there, or a group of religions, others, that maybe have to conform to certain standards that are drawn up, to be met. So yeah, these things, these sound like silly, but this is true. Like I say, once they put their foot down, and once they establish the precedent, each successive one will become easier. And Oh no, the powers that be will have in place those safeguards for their own safety and well-being. They're going to be smart enough to figure those things out. They won't make it they won't be impervious to, but they will just definitely isolate themselves in some manner. In some way, they'll make themselves untouchable, or at least that's what they'll think. So, but but so okay, so what is the prevailing state supporting religion then? What is the prevailing religion we starting? Well, this is where it gets kind of crazy, as the longer storied Catholics and subsects, Orthodoxy and all that, seem to want leadership as the state church of America. Well, look, the Supreme Court's made up. Well, 6 of them are Catholics, Roman Catholics. So, you see it, there it is. Well, those wiry fucks from the evangelical community seem to want to think that they should be top gun. So the guns have been drawn, and the U.S. is beginning to feel like the old Putin Russia. People with money, power, controlling your destiny. Also crazy is how bad religions have become, even as assassinations being reported within the ranks. That's my prediction. I'm telling you, fucking wake up. Call upon your higher intelligence. The USA, as bad as it has become, may be the last bastion of peace and freedom we may ever see again. If we cede it over to the obscenely rich, don't let the fascist-leaning right take over our country, as it would doom us to a Putin-like, Russia-like state. This is what oligarchs and autocrats do to a country when they take control. They will take away almost most meaningful rights and liberties we experience now. There's a strong feeling that Trump's win and down ballots were electronically manipulated to cause a miscount in Trump's favor to get him elected. Actually, the stakes are at a do or die outcome. Democracy and freedom, or the rights alternative, dictatorial authoritarian state. Think contemporary Russia, Putin-led Russia. I can see dissension even in the right's rank and file, not counting the wackos, like Tucker Carlson and his ilk, but reasonable conservatives, most supporting the egregiously Russia attacked Ukraine, and totally clueless segments lining up with the criminal Putin regime. This calls for a total Russian retreat and cessation of military hostilities, a UN-directed oversight committee to engineer settlement that would lead to the fairest outcome and benefit to the region in the most positive manner, keeping religion out of the calculation. When religious leaders speak, people can and tend to die. Hate gets unleashed. Here I am speaking about religions now. That will be a constant narrative interwoven throughout my dissertations. Any punishments meted out should be to those inflicting the damage, not the people or their country. In conclusion, Lisa, just be mindful when considering a subject to spotlight. Otherwise, someday you may find that light shining on you. In all cases, I hope you succeed in your good intention productions. Have a beautiful and blessed day to all those who are listening and attending. Please leave your comments. I'd like to be interested to hear what you have to say.